So it's been a bit, having some sushi, it's on its way. Struggled with what wine to have, white wine to have, and I ended up with a German Riesling here, a dry German Riesling from 2017, 4 years of age. I wanted to let this one age longer. How can you tell it's dry? It's this Trocken on the back, and it's got this designation, Gross Jawak GG, which I'm pretty sure, if I remember my wine studies and my German wine studies correctly, it means sort of like a single vintage type of Riesling. I'll have to do more research. It's from Pfalz, P-F-A-L-Z, very well-known region for German Riesling. So this will be the wine of the night. I do have to do the cherries one of these days, but I have to decide on how I'm going to do it since I have a number of them. I'm probably going to use numerous wine glasses and go with the Coravin and just pour a little bit of each one. And that way it's a good comparison here. I'm going to pop and pour this Riesling here as my sushi's on its way and see what we got. I tend to like even dry Riesling sort of with Indian food, spicier food. It works with sushi. It does, and maybe fish, a white fish, but just kind of running out of some options. I mean, I need to go over to Working Dog and buy a bunch of the Chardonnays that I call my weekly pours, but they're $30 Chardonnays, but I just really dig them. So let's see. It's only got 4 years of age on it. I don't expect it to be super funky or anything crazy. I mean, there's the label. Germany, I say it all the time that Burgundy is a very complicated region because of all the villages and the vineyards, but at the end of the day it's just two grapes. And in Germany there's a number of other grapes, but Riesling being the major predominant white grape. There's all the ones, Merlot and some others, but Riesling being the dominant one for whites. But then the designations, there's so many sweet Rieslings. There's always a misunderstanding of Riesling that it's sweet. It's not. It's not. The best Rieslings, the only Rieslings I typically drink are very, very white or slightly off dry, which I'll have with spicy food, or just if I'm in the mood, or dry. So, this smells awesome. So, Riesling from Germany just has a petrol smell. Can I tell if this is from Germany or one of my favorite places for Riesling, which is Alsace? No, I can't. I would not know. I would just say it's Riesling. Smelling this, immediately you know it's Riesling. At least I know it's Riesling. There's always this rubber smell I always get, and it's not a disgusting rubber smell like a skunk, which I always call burnt rubber, but definitely it's a little too warm, but still it's got that petrol sort of smell, slight gasoline smell, a little bit of a rubber smell. Those don't sound great, but there's pineapple skin, there's lemon, there's lime. You could smell the minerality, like a stoniness to it, without a doubt. Let's say white pepper. It smells a little like a solidity is in there. Some flowers, some daisies, white flowers. I wouldn't say maybe unripe white peach. It's pretty complicated nose for this for sure. And it's got a little golder, so it's got a little bit of age. Rieslings can age a long time. I have an Alsatian Riesling that's 2010 in there, and I'm letting it sit even longer. I think it's an Alsatian. I think it's a Grand Cru for sure. Let's see. Interruptions. So, razor sharp acidity, as you would expect from Riesling. I think there's sort of a palate cleanser. That's why so many sommeliers and professionals really do like Riesling. It doesn't give palate fatigue, but it refreshes the palate with all that acidity to it. Meyer lemon, very heavy on the Meyer lemon, ripe confit lemon, really long finish, really great acidity, high acid. It is making my whole entire mouth water. Pineapple cores in there. Say dragon fruit, not dragon fruit. I always confuse the dragon fruits. Star fruit. Unripe kiwi. You don't taste that petrol. You don't taste that rubber. It's just on the aroma. Really great. This is an outstanding. Oh, and bone dry. This is a dry, bone dry white wine. It will go great with the sushi, no doubt. I wasn't 1,000% in the mood for this tonight, but it's a great wine. Really well made. I don't know the price on this. J.J. Buckley. I feel like I've had it for a bit. I feel like I bought it because it was supposed to be sort of a single vineyard type of Riesling. It kind of has that elegance to it that it absolutely could be. That length. I mean, it is an extremely long wine for a white like this. It's got a slight viscosity that you wouldn't expect from a white or Riesling. They're sort of leaner. So it feels like it has a little bit more body for a Riesling. I don't know why. I don't know if it has something to do with this designation of grapes or this region, or maybe it's a vineyard. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's very good. Probably one of the best dry Rieslings I've ever had. Sushi made it. A little bit more. See if there's any final thoughts on this wine. 4.5 out of 5. Maybe even a 5 out of 5, just because it's definitely one of the best top 2, 3 dry Rieslings I've ever had, which I guess would qualify at 4 or 5 out of 5. It absolutely just has that petrol smell, and I like that smell. Interruptions galore. All the other aromas are all still there. It's got so many as it is. It's floral, it's got those classic Riesling, it's got things in between, it's got those sour fruits, but it doesn't taste sour. It's got a riper taste, but still razor sharp acidity, amazingly long length, a little bit of a viscosity and density to it that you don't typically get in a Riesling. The alcohol just has 11 to 14, so no idea what the actual alcohol level is. It's absolutely balanced with the alcohol, but typically, let's see if the legs are showing me anything with the alcohol. Not really. Alcohol, the legs really just show alcohol. They don't really do much more than that. Sometimes they help with that, sometimes they don't. It doesn't. Good wine. Really good wine. Kind of wish I would have opened this in a few years from now. If I see one again and I remember, try it again. Never know. I don't buy as many Rieslings as I used to. I mean, this has that heavy dose of that Meyer lemon and confit lemon going. Kiwi. Long length, yeah, everything. It's good. Very complex Riesling, very complex white wine, period. And it's just not something you pontificate a little bit about a Riesling at this level, where some are just very one-dimensional, maybe a little off dry, you just pound it. You drink it quickly with a really spicy meal. You're not really thinking about it. This feels like a wine, a Riesling. You want to sit and ponder about it a little bit and think about all the nuances, and there's just something a little different about it. Its body, its length, its acidity, all these other flavors it's got going on. I mean, it's got a lot of flavor for a wine. Typically, if you get 3 to 4 things out of the nose, 3 or 4 things out of the palate that may or may not be the same as the nose, this has far more than that, 6 or 7 or 8 on both palate and aroma. So, and then with a long length, the acid that matches the grape, the little bit of body to it. It all equates to a 4.5, 5 out of 5 wine because it's absolutely true itself, but at a very high level of itself. That's it. I'll talk more about it tomorrow, probably. Definitely. I don't know what I'm opening tomorrow. Depends what's for dinner. I definitely want to do the sherries. I just don't know when. And I'm going to have half of this today with the sushi. And probably talk about it more tomorrow. See what it has on night 2. I don't suspect it to be that different. I feel like reds evolve more over a night 2 than a white. I've had a few whites that evolved a little bit, but this just feels like it's already everything it wants to be. I don't know that it's going to open up or show me any more. If it does, it'd be amazing. It's already showing me so much. All right, this went far too long. Time to have some sushi. Have a good night.